You're watching I Ben Brown Plays Pokemon Sleep. In this episode, we hold a funeral. We do a Cliff Notes version of Bro Vinny's complete Expert Mode guide and declare some non-inventory things that you might buy stock in for Expert Mode. Also, we'll do a sleep session and we'll see if we can hit Master 3 on Greengrass Isle Expert before the end of the video. Happy screen time and thank you for subscribing for Pokemon Sleep Tomfoolery. We're actually going to start the video with making dinner because we just got the soybeans needed, and whatever happens on this dinner right now is going to determine what team I'm running throughout this episode. So we're actually going to make some changes real quick to throw some energy on things that need energy. Like you, not you, you. Okay, the other guys can use some energy for sure. If we hit a critical hit meal, extra tasty is what it's called, we will get Master 3 on our very first Expert Mode on Greengrass Isle. The only place you can do Expert Mode right now. Okay, are you ready for this? I'm ready for this. Fan it. Well, that's the way to start the video. Will we hit Master 3? Well, okay, wait. I don't know. Maybe I didn't do the math right. I think I only need 150,000, so we're about to do this. Wow. I feel great. I feel great that I could do this with y'all. I was plan Bing in my head a lot. What do I need to do? What team do I need to switch on right now to go for Master 3? Turns out, we're just gonna go pick up this incense. Sneasel, bless you. Alright, well, that was easy. Oh, and Golduck, thank you. Hey, he was part of the B team, the backup team. Alright. Okay. Sorry, the most important thing I can do right now is prepare for next week, and then we'll get into the real stuff. But we're gonna prepare for next week in a way that is a little different. Okay. Don't pause the recording myself. We're going to go turn off the music because the music is what's going to make this weird if we leave it on. Alright, why is it different, do you ask? Because we're gonna do the weird editing stuff, but with the gameplay footage, and we don't want choppy music, so we're throwing on whatever those other tunes are that I end up putting on. What team do we need? We want to take advantage of the time that's left of skill week. We want to try to expand the pot for Monday morning. We want to try to get ingredients. We want to try to get some dream shards if we can. Oh boy. Yep, Nacho, you get to come too. I need to check the energy of all of these Pokemon. Yep, you're all cleared for takeoff. Actually, if we have boosted odds on pot expansion, I think that we're going to need to hit that because everybody who's a skill specialist is triggering at a higher tick. So, not you. You're triggering at max level if you trigger. Well, we don't really care if it's max level. We just want it to happen. It doesn't matter. No, it doesn't matter. Let's put on a helping bonus Pokemon who has been a star for us this week. Sloan. Look at this. Look at this no skill trigger bad investment Pokemon that's just gonna helping bonus these triggers for us. And tonight, going into tomorrow, I will be running the Skittles team. Hopefully these Dedenne can take advantage of some extra skill triggers. Actually, you know what we should do with those guys? We should figure out which of these is least likely to trigger. Okay, that looks really good. Is it you? Yep, it Ooh, look at all his inventory. You might trigger. All right, Weavile, you're out, because if we can double bank on something that we'll take a look at more in detail a little later. Okay, that's the new Skittles team. It's ready to go. Welcome to the Pokemon Sleep Rotom Funeral. Today, we celebrate the life of Pokemon Sleep as we honor its death. Make way for Pokemon Sleep EX. Just like you see on all those Pokemon cards, Charizard EX, Mewtwo EX. I actually don't know if it's pronounced X or EX, but in Pokemon Sleep, it's whatever that is. Pokemon Sleep X, Pokemon Sleep EX. I don't know. But Pokemon Sleep Expert Mode is where I'm going to be spending, I think, all of my time from now until November when Amber Canyon comes to the game. I don't feel like I really have a reason to leave, especially if we can be accruing expert bonus. Call me a hater, but I don't think I'm really worried about hunting any of the legendary beasts. And I do love the idea of getting all the extra dream shards from those spawns, especially if incenses are involved in the upcoming legendary beast event. There's going to be a lot of dream shards to be had in Greengrass Expert Mode, but I don't really see myself investing in them. Well, okay, look, I'm gonna try to catch some. I'm not gonna go out of my way to try to catch some. Does that make sense? Coming up, we have Triple Skill Week. No, we don't. We have Triple Type Week. What do you think this is? In Triple Type Week, we're going to see boosted spawns of water, fire, and electric Pokemon. And my advice is you should go and catch anything that's on this list that you don't already have. And what I mean by that is, as you look ahead to maybe do expert mode, whether you're there now or there one day, you're gonna want to have one of every species that you're investing in. That much has been made very clear to me as I've been in expert mode this week. When I look at this list, the only thing that I really want to hunt here is Dedenne. I could use a Flareon, but I think I'd rather catch an Eevee. And I suppose I could use a different Cyndaquil for a long-term investment, but nothing else on this list is something that I'm going to bend over backwards to go get. But you should expect that you are going to see all of these Pokemon. Okay, you're not going to see all of them. You're going to see a lot of these spawns and not so many of the usual spawn during this triple type event. That is because they have a greater appearance rate. Typically, we only see greater appearance rate when a new Pokemon is introduced to the game. Like right now, we are in Super Skills Week, Toxel's being introduced. Who has a greater appearance rate? Toxel and Toxicity. And everything else has a slightly greater appearance rate. Now, RNG can get you because the only Toxel that I've seen this week is the one that I put out an incense for. We'll see if that changes in the video later. But greater appearance rate and so many spawns being in that greater appearance rate for the triple type event, you're gonna see a lot of these types of Pokemon. I would dare to call it unprecedented in these unprecedented times. But I'm pretty sure I'm gonna be on Greengrass Isle expert mode forever. The only thing that I might consider would be going to Lapis Lakeside to have less spawns and more shots at Dedenne, and then at the end of the week I would EZZ travel with a ticket just to get the area bonus in expert mode. But it's more fun to play expert mode, let's be real. It's more stressful to play expert mode too. And although you just saw me hit Master 3, I do not think that that would have happened without Super Skills Week, because one of my all-stars in the week was Arcanine, who has not been invested in. We'll talk more about that and the strategy behind that later, so stay tuned. Why this is especially depressing is because I had a really good roll on my berries this week. Lepa Berry for fire, Oran Berry for water, and Pecha Berry for fairy. Berry for fairy, berry for fairy. That means I was able to run a Wigglytuff as a healer. I have lots of great options for fire and water Pokemon, and all of that only got me to Master 3. And almost didn't make it, because if I hadn't gotten that extra tasty, we maybe would have made it. We would have just been spending more time stressing about making it, but we wouldn't be at this point of the video already. Now, when I plugged my Pokemon into Rainix, it said Master 2, so RNG is already on my side that we were able to hit Master 3. And before we end the funeral, we need to talk about the saddest realization that I had. I can make spreadsheets too, you know. I stuck all of the strength on this spreadsheet. You can see all the area bonuses across the top. Basically, it's if you got the strength needed to get to these things, what would be the equivalent strength of that if the area bonus was there, so that we could answer, if we got to Master 3, what would Master 3 look like if we had a max out area bonus. And that's what I have down here below, and I've highlighted it for your convenience. If we were to hit Master 3 this week at max area bonus, that's only Master 8. 8! Expert mode is hard, okay? This is not for the faint of heart. Right here, if you want to hit Master 20 at 75% area bonus this week, well, line 68 here, if you hit Master 14 this week, you're on track to do what you need to do, okay? In 15 weeks or whatever the number is. And I'm already looking at this going, okay, with 5% area bonus, nothing changes. You're gonna hit the exact same things that you were already hitting this week. Even with 10% area bonus, everything basically lines up. Not until expert bonus 15% should we expect to see any difference in our rankings, and even then it's marginal. So why that gets me a little stressed is because we had extra boosts and skill triggers this week, and I had a really good roll. So I'm fully anticipating to have some less good weeks ahead, but I'm here for the challenge because I'm an expert. So on November 24th, if we were to stay at expert mode from now until then, and we roll these exact same berries, I can count on getting Master 3 because I should be on target for Master 8, except, again, there were skill boosts this week, so anyway, it's depressing because it's just hard. Alright, Brovini posted a video about a complete guide to expert mode. You saw me do at the beginning, complete, because there's so many things that we still don't know about expert mode that I think calling it that is irresponsible and clickbaity. And then the video itself is not really about expert mode. So if you haven't watched it yet, I mean, I'm gonna give you the Cliff Notes version. Go watch it if you're interested in any of the things I'm about to say, but I'm gonna spend a minute covering what he took 40 minutes to cover. First, he read the expert mode news, so go read it. He read these sections of stuff. And then he did a bunch of math to explain how the buffs and debuffs translate to production, and that it's not an increase 10% in production and a decrease 15% in production. It's other numbers because you are putting the buffs and debuffs on helping speed specific. So it's a little worse than if you took away helping speed M from all of your Pokemon that have it and all the Pokemon that didn't have it when the berries don't match on expert mode. Now, if you love math, sure, go watch it, but even if you care about min-maxing the game, you're not going to be doing this math. You're just going to be typing it into Rain-X, and Rain-X is going to be telling you to stop. Then he did a breakdown of the research experience, Dream Shard, and candy changes for the sleep styles at Greengrass Isle Expert. The problem is, the research hasn't been fully compiled yet, and we don't actually know what the actual numbers are for any of those things. At least not at the point that he published the complete guide. But he summed it up in what I totally expect to be accurate, that it is a step up from Old Gold Power Plant, which seems natural since it's the area after Old Gold Power Plant right now in the game. He also made one minor note that I think is worth mentioning. There are missions associated with the expert mode where you need to put 20 sleep hours on the types of Pokemon that match the berries for the week. Only one Pokemon on your sleep team counts towards that. So in my case, if I were to put 2 fire Pokemon on my sleep team, only one of those Pokemon would have counted towards this mission on any given night. And if you're curious, I'll show you what Pokemon I put my sleep hours on. This was the team that I ran for sleep hour team. Lastly, he spent 22 minutes doing an analysis of ingredient specialists that have high inventory. Now, we already know this, and so I don't understand why he spent so long analyzing this. he also threw in that skill specialist benefit from inventory, something we already know. The point that he was trying to make is the speed up and speed down effects in expert mode affect the number of helps that a Pokemon has in the day. And at night, when typically a Pokemon's inventory is getting full because you're asleep and not collecting from them, the ratio for ingredient specialists is going to be consistent with expert mode as it would in a regular mode, because even though they have less helps, essentially their inventory just feels a little bit slower. So when you wake up in the morning, you're going to be missing out on some berry strength from those Pokemon potentially, but they should still have as many ingredients as they would normally have running them overnight. Again, why it took 20 minutes for him to say that, but it's not really a new strategy. That's like, we're already doing that, and I don't think it's anything that if you are not already, like, whatever you're doing for your overnight strategy, his video is not going to change it. You're going to keep, if you have great berry specialists for overnight, you're going to keep doing that in expert mode. If you have ingredient specialists that you've been running overnight, you're going to do that. So he's trying to say that expert mode, the meta has shifted to make inventory that much more valuable. It's actually staying exactly the same. At least that's my... Now I do have something to contribute to the conversation, because I do think that something has changed. In Pokemon Sleep EX actually does have a meta shifting thing, and it comes from the main skills of Helper Boost and Extra Helpful. Now, as we pointed out, if a Pokemon's berry does not match, that Pokemon has less helps in a day compared to if you're running on whatever other island. But if you are using a Pokemon that has Extra Helpful S, and I'm working on getting one pulled up right now. Actually, we'll get a couple pulled up here. What am I talking about? All right, we want to get Extra Helpful S and Helper, and we'll get Ingredient Draw S because I actually think that this also applies here. Okay, and we're going to sort by RP because we'll get my best guys at the top. And I actually used Arcanine a lot this week. So, Extra Helpful S is a skill that, depending on the level, gets a certain number of helps from a Pokemon. That number of helps is a fixed number independent of how fast or slow that other Pokemon is. So, if you need to put on a Pokemon, for example, an ingredient specialist, because you need ingredients to make a particular meal, and that Pokemon is affected by the debuff in expert mode because it's running a little bit slow. If you're able to get your Extra Helpful S Pokemon to trigger on that Pokemon, you're going to be better off, because the goal with an ingredient specialist is to have it on the team and take it off when you have the ingredients to put in something else that's strong. And if you can fast forward its helps, in this example, 9 times, then you're probably going to get the ingredients you need and kick it back off the team. Unfortunately, this is totally RNG dependent. There's no guarantee that your Arcanine, Jolteon, Gallade is going to trigger on the Pokemon that you want it to trigger on. So your options are to put it on a team with 4 ingredient specialists and maximize your odds of it hitting one of those. But it could still hit on itself, so make sure you have Berry Finding S on it, so you're not totally sacrificing all the strength when you're doing it. But if you're feeling lucky, you can go for this. It's not more reliable in expert mode than it was in the regular mode, but it is better in expert mode to get those Pokemon off the team quicker because they are slower than the impact of running them in the other play. Same applies to Helper Boost with our friends, the legendary pets. Go and hunt these guys if you don't have some to use. If you want to, I mean, I already kind of said I don't really care, even though I only have a Suicune to use. But these Pokemon are actually more valuable in expert mode for that reason. If you can stick on a Pokemon, get the trigger on it, get it off the team, you're in better. And that's because, again, it's triggering the number of helps, not triggering anything based on helping speed like a Helper Whistle. Now, keep in mind that Helper Boost and Extra Helpful S are not going to be helping your skill Pokemon trigger more. So if you're going to be swapping those in, like for example, if I'm swapping an Arcanine, Best case scenario is I swap off my Golduck because I don't want it to hit Golduck, but if I have other berry specialists on the team, if I have the ingredient specialists on the team of ingredients I need, those are the things that I'm hoping and probably mostly hoping it hits one single thing. And I ran that strategy throughout this week, and I guess I don't know how many times it failed because I only appreciated the times where it succeeded, but 4 times in a week of 7 days, Arcanine came through for me to trigger on something that I needed ingredients from, and then I just kicked it off. Plus, my Arcanine was triggering at max skill level this week and had a speed boost from being my #1 main preferred berry on Snorlax. Just keep in mind that this is a trust in the heart of the card sort, and all of that said has helped me understand where our friend, whatever the skill is called, Ingredient Draw S, comes into the picture. Because imagine you're sticking in an Arcanine, Jolteon, or Gallade and a Pokemon that's offering you mushrooms, bean sausage, soybeans, or coffee, and that's what you're trying to get out of it. Well, you can take one ingredient slot and run Honchkrow, and maybe on the week that you have dark berries and nothing else to trigger out extra helpful S or helper boost, this is your guy to get those ingredients. I don't know. Anyway, I feel like there's a legitimate case to be made for these guys now. The quick draws. I was literally looking at it and I still couldn't remember the name. And now we are going to go turn the music back on so we can do our sleep session and slow things down. This is the part of the video for the true Pokemon Sleep fan. I kind of like that they don't have the fanfare music at night here. I think it's way better without it. Oh, come on, give the audience a skill trigger. What are you guys doing over here? Alright, oh wait. Nope. Oil. Alright. Saturday night into Monday morning sessions are so overrated, right? So we're here on a Sunday night looking at our Saturday session. This is when all the good stuff happens, right? This is the moments we live for in Pokemon Sleep, is the Sunday morning, because drowsy power always gets wasted otherwise. Okay, this is session something 748, brought to you by Expert Mode. We got 8 spawns like a couple days into the week. We've got a top belly Toxel, just after I said we don't have any Toxels. And if YouTuber Luck has anything to say about it, we're gonna see a shiny. And was the R on shiny? I don't think so. You gotta look at its belly, it needs to be green. Okay, but we should have 2 spawns, and I'm betting the other one is also a Toxel, because I mean, we're not gonna get a duplicate of top belly Toxel. That would be ridiculous if there was a Toxel sleeping underneath that other Toxel. But we've now seen 2 Toxels total on the week. Boom! I don't know what else it would have been, but we've got... Well, I don't like that. That's going to mess up my audio. Can you hear this? It just switched out of my AirPod. This is so stupid. Give me one moment for technical difficulties, please. Jump cut! In case I did a jump cut. Alright, we got stretching sleep Toxel. Is it really stretching? It's like, oh, he's stretched. Okay, but the one that was there on the ground did not look like that at all. He had his arms down. Oh, spoke too soon. Okay. So sometimes he puts his arms down, then he stretches. Got it. Okay. Let's see. Well, I don't think I mean, I already forgot everything that spawned. I am guessing that we're going to catch a Toxel because we're not really worried about catching anything else. Shiny, nothing. It wasn't shiny. He has blue eyes. Wow, that's a lot of hungry Pokemon. Alright, well, we'll catch anything that's hungry and has the bars. Oh my gosh, we're going to catch a lot of stuff today. Alright, Toxel. We want the stretchy one. Give us the stretch. Give us the stretch. Alright. Poke Biscuit. Not gonna go out of my way for the other Toxel. And if it was hungry, we would have just guaranteed the catch on it probably. But we'll give one to Asfeel because it's started. And we'll give one to the Arcanine? No, Growlithe, was that the other one that was hungry? Obviously it wasn't an Arcanine because we're basically back in time to when Rock was young and me and Susie had so much fun. We are back in the early days of the game when everything was little tiny basic Pokemon spawns. We befriended 10 Pokemon in the week, and I do need more iron candy, so we'll go ahead and give this one a biscuit, but we're not gonna catch it. We're just gonna wait till it shows up hungry again. Hey, but give out 15 biscuits. I like getting this mission on a Sunday because it means that we can leave to a new area and then do our sleep session review for the next week and start accruing the biscuits for the next week's mission. Hopefully that makes sense. If it didn't, ask me in the comments. What is happening? Oh my god. Okay. Sorry about that, folks. Technology is out to get us today. Alright, and you can see we've been doing this hungry strategy like with Doduo there. It came hungry at some point, but it's not today, so it doesn't get to eat. You get to eat if you're hungry. That's how this works. So if you're not hungry, why are you eating? You shouldn't be eating if you're not hungry. And we're making serious strides in expert mode because not everybody hit Master 3 this week. I'm just saying, not everybody did it. Not everybody did it. Okay. Decent amount of dream shards. And you guys know how we do this. We do not do this. It would be Toxel if we did. Awful? Toxful? Yeah, okay, let's see. Missions. We need to collect some missions. 15 biscuits given out. Did not go for incenses. Do not care about that candy. Finished out all of our missions for the week. Even Master 3. Don't want to forget that that happened. That is beautiful. Okay. Let's go check out some Pokemon. And before we check out what we caught tonight, let me update you on some of the other recent catches since the last time we went. I actually recorded a video that I maybe didn't record or that the software just threw away last time, where I showed you guys a bunch of Pokemon and caught that Chikorita. Anyway, let's take a look here. We caught a Torchic. It's nothing. It's box filler because it's the only Torchic we have. Caught this really interesting ABA Dragonair that has 2 ingredient findings. I'm not really inclined to raise a third Dragonite, but if I did, it would probably be the shiny option one that I have, even though that has the experience gains down. Caught another Dedenne. It's not great. I want to find a great one, but you know, when Dedenne comes hungry. Caught a shiny Wobbuffet with no stats. Sudowoodo. This Sudowoodo I only kept to show you guys because it's an upside down Sudowoodo. If it had that skill trigger S at 10, helping speed M, with the main skill chance up, I would have picked this Sudowoodo over my other Sudowoodo that I plan to invest in. I caught this Chikorita with you guys in a video that doesn't exist. It's awesome. Speed of Help up. Speed of Help S, that's sub-skillable, seedable, berry finding S. Excellent stuff. This is an interesting Caterpie. Speed of Help up, helping bonus. Probably not better than the berry finding S one I have, but I haven't tested it. But very interesting nonetheless. This was the first Toxel that I caught. Upgradable, upgradable, skill trigger S, helping speed S. What the heck? We got a usable one. If you want to know what your Toxel can evolve into, click the evolve button and look at the image. If you have the sleep styles for it, it will show, but this is the amped form because its hair looks like this. Like, did it work? Didn't work. Like, apparently I'm the low-key version right now. Anyway. Caught a Toxel. What else? Okay, we gotta stop at the Cubone. Swablu. Berry finding as Swablu with inventory and skill triggers and speed of health down. So not better than the other one that we have. Ralt. Male Ralt. You know what that could be? It could be helping speed S, skill trigger S, skill trigger M. This is gonna be a Gallade, right? Wrong. Look at that nature. You naughty little Ralt. Okay, Bonsly. Skill trigger S, skill trigger M. Another good Sudowoodo option. What? Why does the game want me to have a Sudowoodo? Okay, Cubone. Let's see. I don't know why I kept you. You're just gonna go right now. I mean, we're gonna send a bunch of those other things away, but why did I keep that Cubone? Alright, what should we check first? How about the Growlithe? Because we've been talking about our expert mode stock. And helping bonus. And berry finding yes. And it's in sausage finder. So that's weird. I actually have a really great other Growlithe option. I mean, I'm running a bunch of stuff. Actually, it's this Arcanine, I believe, that I caught when it was hungry. Helping speed M, skill trigger S. Okay, maybe it's not that great. Wait, do I have a different, better one? No. Well, I thought I had a better option, but my other two from the early game are not better options. So we're sticking with our highly invested, bad investment one. Okay, why did I leave the box? Jump back in. Spheal. I already have 2 Spheals. Ooh, helping bonus. Oh, another Spheal for the collection. Okay, guys, what the heck? What the heck? Let me show you. See, berry specialists that are ice types. Look at my collection. We've got Phyllis here, who has berry finding S, and at 75 has helping bonus. Right? That's good. Speed of health down, not good, but sub skill, you know, mintable. Nature mintable. I don't know how I'm gonna say that wrong, but I continue to call them mint seeds, so we know that's wrong. Anyway, gets speed late, and we have Bob Vance, who has berry finding S, and who eventually gets helping bonus, also speed of health down, and a helping speed. So equivalent. And now we have another option: helping bonus, helping speed, berry finding S. This one with no speed downside does need a mint. It just doesn't get berry finding S to 100. So it would be nice if we could get it a little sooner, but you know, whatever. Alright, clear the filters, reset, Toxel. This is our last dude. Helping speed S, great. Skill level up S, fine. Skill trigger S, sassy. Main skill chance up probably means that it's the amped mode one, because I don't remember which one's which. Oh, no. Oh, wait, no. Amped mode. Most of the main skill chance up ones are the low key mode, if I remember correctly. But sassy nature is the amped mode. But, I mean, we'll go test it just compared to that other one. You want it to also have, I mean, you're using it as a milk farmer if you're using this guy. Or you're using it situationally. You would not believe the teams I was running tonight to try to get my last ingredients to make that thing that got us to Master 3, but I don't really feel like talking through it all, so we're not going to. Anyway, let me know how your weeks are going. Are you ever going to get to expert mode? Are you doing expert mode? Were you in the wait and see crowd? I was going to be in the wait and see crowd, but I just felt like I don't have anything else going on. It's Pokemon Sleep. This is what we do now. We don't play Pokemon Sleep anymore. We play Pokemon Sleep X, and we do it at Greengrass Isle++. Let's do this again sometime. Happy researching.